Imagine waking up one ordinary morning. You reach for your phone before even getting out of bed. The headline flashing across your screen is anything but ordinary. US deploys thousands of Marines and a warship to the Middle East. Suddenly, your morning coffee tastes different. The world feels less stable. This isn't just another faraway event. It's a military move with the power to shake the global economy. When the United States sends a powerful ship and thousands of troops to a hotspot, it signals that something major is at stake. The deployment is not routine. It means rising tensions and the possibility of conflict. For millions, such news is both unsettling and confusing. Why does one military decision in a distant region matter so much? The answer lies in the geography and the global systems that connect us all. This is a story about oil, money, power, and the narrow strait that holds the world's attention. So, let's dive in. We'll explore why this deployment is so important and how it could touch every life on Earth. Amphibious assault ships are floating fortresses, carrying Marines, helicopters, and landing craft. They launch attacks from sea to land, making them essential for rapid response. When you hear one sent to the Middle East, remember, it's more than a ship. It's a signal, a tool, and a shield. Why send such firepower to the Middle East? The answer is geography, and more specifically, the Strait of Hormuz. This stretch of water is only about 21 miles wide at its narrowest point, but it carries enormous importance. Nearly a fifth of the world's oil passes through this narrow strait every day. The Strait of Hormuz connects the oil-rich Persian Gulf to the open sea. Oil tankers from Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, and other countries must travel through these waters to reach global markets. Any disruption here can send shockwaves across the world. Control of the strait means control over the flow of oil. If shipping is threatened, or if the strait is blocked, fuel prices could skyrocket everywhere, from Los Angeles to London to Tokyo. The world's factories, cars, and even homes depend on this fragile passage staying open. This tiny sliver of ocean is, in many ways, the world's energy lifeline, and that makes it a flashpoint for global tension. Military action in the Strait of Hormuz is never just a local issue. Even a hint of trouble here can send oil prices soaring in minutes. That means higher costs at the pump and for goods everywhere. The world is a web, and the Strait of Hormuz is one of its most sensitive threads. The recent deployment didn't happen in a vacuum. Tensions have been rising between the United States and Iran for years. Iran has often threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz or attack oil tankers as a way to push back against sanctions and pressure. There have been incidents, ships seized, drones shot down, and even attacks on oil facilities. Each time, the world holds its breath, waiting to see if things will get worse. The US has promised to keep the strait open, seeing it as vital to its own interests and to those of its allies. Sending Marines and a powerful warship is a statement. It says the US will not let threats go unanswered. The goal is to reassure partners and to warn adversaries that the world's oil lifeline will be defended at any cost. This standoff is not just about two countries. It's about the rules that keep world trade flowing and what happens when those rules are challenged. Why send so much military power? The answer is deterrence. By showing strength, the US hopes to prevent conflict before it starts. The goal is to make any potential attacker think twice, knowing that a strong response will follow. This kind of signalling matters. Allies feel safer when they see the US taking action. Adversaries become more cautious. The presence of a warship and thousands of Marines is a visible reminder that certain lines cannot be crossed without consequences. But deterrence is also risky. It can lead to misunderstandings or accidental clashes. Both sides must signal their intentions clearly, or a show of force can quickly become a real fight. In today's world, military moves are as much about sending messages as about fighting wars. The hope is that by preparing for conflict, the world can avoid it. What happens next? There are several possible scenarios. In the best case, the show of force works. Iran holds back, shipping remains safe, and the global economy calms down. Diplomacy can then take over, with talks and agreements instead of threats. But there is always risk. An accident or a miscalculation could spark a crisis. A single incident, an attack on a ship, a mistaken shot, could escalate quickly. Other countries could get drawn in, and the impact on oil prices and global markets could be severe. This is why local conflicts in the Middle East matter so much. The world is watching because the fallout can reach every corner. The military, economic, and diplomatic pieces are all connected. Each move is part of a much larger geopolitical puzzle. Today, economic power is as important as military force. The future may depend as much on financial strategies as on warships. As we watch the Strait, we are also seeing the shape of a new world emerge, one where every move counts and the stakes are truly global.